Hey, my friends. Pastor David here with this week's Midweek Minute. We're in the midst of a series of messages called We Worship Because. And the intent of this series of messages is to step from the business of how we worship, whether we use organs and liturgies or drums and emotion or even steel guitars and cowboy hats, or if we try to put all that together in some kind of a worship form. To step beyond that, to talk a little bit about the one that we worship. If we know who God is, worship flows naturally from us. Whether we're singing with a hymn book in our hand or with our hands raised looking at a screen, it doesn't really matter if we know the one that we are worshiping, if we are in intimate relationship with Him. And so this series is exploring who God is. And we talked this past weekend a little bit about God being the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end. The one who started the story that is history, and the one who will absolutely put the final period to history's end. And in between those 2 points of time are a gazillion chapters. One of them has each of our names on it. And if God is this God that is continuing to write the story, we have a choice. We can either partner with God to help write the story that is our chapter, or we can take the pen and say we're going to write our own story, and we're going to use our own resources, and we're going to put the people into the story that we want to have into it, and we're going to write the plot the way we want it to be written. Only to discover that when it's all said and done, we still have to come face to face with the God who started the story and is going to end the story too. So it makes a whole lot more sense to connect with this God who is Alpha and Omega, beginning and end, the one who is the author of the story. We talked about that word history and thought about it from the standpoint of His story. It is His story. All of history is His story. And it makes more sense for you and for me to start our story with His story. Because when we do that, He is able to take the places in our story where there are detours. He's able to take the places in our story where we might find ourselves in a desert place or life is racked with pain. God is able to take that part of our story and weave it into His, and bring us ultimately to that place where we are living the life that He wants us to live from the very beginning. Start your story with His story. See your life as part of this ongoing story that God is continuing to write, because He is Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end. We're going to continue that series of messages this coming weekend at our worship time. It is World Communion Sunday. It's the opportunity to gather around the table of the Lord with brothers and sisters across this globe, celebrating Jesus Christ, the love He has given us and the redemption that we have because of Him. I hope you can be with us either at 6 o'clock on Saturday night or at 10:30 on Sunday morning, or at one of our online campuses for either one of those times. I hope you have a great week. Remember, keep looking up, and I'll see you later.